business before the committee. Members, you've received hard copies of the agenda for the day, and I would now like to ask members to please move for the adoption of the agenda. Can I please see a hand for the adoption? Honourable Maotwe.
Morning, Chair. Morning, everyone. Honourable members, Kosatu, Satau, our support staff. Chair, I move for the adoption of the agenda for today's meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honourable Kaba. Oh, Honourable London. Honourable Kaba.
Thank you very much, Honourable Chairperson. Thank you to you and the honourable members in the House. All protocol observed. Let me welcome our new session in the committee. You are welcome, Mr. David, in this committee. We'll be looking forward to working with you in this committee. Thank you, Chair. I second the move, Chair.
Thank you very much, members. There with the agenda has been duly adopted. Let me then just also take the opportunity, Mr. Davids, to welcome you as our new researcher for the committee. We all look forward to working with you in the future. It's nice that you are here in physical attendance. Thank you for that. Members, in our previous engagement regarding the insourcing bill, the Portfolio Committee was unable to receive the formal presentation on the bill due to a misunderstanding relating to the procedures for processing the private members' bills. The committee has since rescheduled the briefing on the insourcing bill for today. Allow me to just reiterate that the committee welcomes the bill before us and expresses its appreciation to Honourable Maotwe for taking the initiative to contribute towards legislative reform in the public service. Private members' bill play an important role in strengthening parliamentary democracy by enabling members to actively shape policy discourse and legislative development. The committee will first consider and adopt the minutes to guide today's proceedings, and this will then be followed by a brief presentation from Honourable Maotwe and the organisations that supported the bill during its conceptual stage. So I now invite the committee secretary to just take us through the minutes of 18 February 2026, after which we will proceed with the presentation. Mercy, if you please.
Thank you, Chairperson. Good morning to honourable members, colleagues that are present. We have minutes.
Just hang on, I've got a hand from Honourable Langa. Please proceed, Honourable Langa.
Apologies, Chair, for interjection. I'm not sure if we missed the apologies.
Honourable Langa, you are quite correct. My apologies, we're not doing the apologies. But yes, members, we did receive an apology from Honourable Leclape that he's joining the Health Committee today, and Honourable Gugu has just indicated that she will be joining us a little bit later today. Is there any other apologies to note for the members? Thank you very much for that help, Honourable Langa. We then move on to the agenda point number 3, the consideration and adoption of the previous committee minutes. Mercy, please help us through it.
Thank you, Chairperson. Good morning once again. Once again to honourable members and colleagues. These are the minutes of the 18th of February 2026, Chair, honourable members. I am on page 1. This is the minutes of the day where the committee initially wanted to get a briefing on the insourcing. So I'm on page 1, which should be members of the present, Commissioner K, and attendant. On page 2, Chair. And I'm on page 3, Chair. That's the last page, page 4. These minutes were previously sent to members to vote on them so that they can check if there's the full reflection of what transpired. during the 18th of February 2016. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kole. There we have it, members, the minutes for the previous meeting. Can I please have a proposal for the adoption of the minutes?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Good morning to honorable members. Representation from Labour Unions, the support staff. I move for the adoption of the minutes of the previous meeting.
Thank you, Honorable Tikana. Honorable Langa.
Thank you very much, Chair. Greetings to you, to honorable members, to Constantia, Satsao, support staff. Chair, I would like to second for the adoption of the minutes of the 18th, but with just one amendment on page 2.8. Second line where it says the agenda item for the day was deferred to the next meeting. Thank you.
Quite correct. You must say the next meeting of the next week. Thank you, Masi. Please make that adjustment. And with that change, you second the adoption. Thank you. Correct. Thank you, Honorable Langa. Members, if there are no objections, then that means the minutes have been duly approved. Thank you very much. We can then move on to the star of the show and the most important, the reason why we are here today, the briefing on the insourcing bill by the Omphile Maotwe. Point number 4, you are welcome to proceed, member. Thank you. Members have received hard copies to follow it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair. Greetings to my fellow colleagues, honorable members. My name is Omphile Maotwe, and I'll be leading the delegation from the EFF. I'm here on my left-hand side with our national spokesperson, Honorable Sinaro Tambo. On my right is a member of this committee, Sekolise Trish. And greetings to everyone on the platform. Greetings to Comrade Matthew Parks of Fasatu. We are happy, Chair, that finally we reached this point where we are now presenting this insourcing bill on behalf of all South Africans. Chair, I've got the presentation, but I think the Secretary said we'll use printed copies. So the presentation will basically cover, we'll take stock of where we are as a country, where we want to be, and how we are going to achieve what we want to achieve. So if you go to slide number 2, we'll start off by, as I said, taking stock of where we are, which is looking at the background and policy context, problem statement, and the reasons behind the insourcing bill that is before this committee. What do we have on hand that prompted us to present, or rather to table this bill in Parliament? What evidence, what empirical evidence can we put on the table? And we'll look at the rationale for this legislation. Do we require a legislation for us to achieve what we want to achieve? And what is it that the insourcing bill seeks to achieve? And now the last portion will be, how then do we go about achieving that which we wish to achieve? We'll look at the summary of key provisions that are before us on the bill. We'll look at the expected impact on service delivery and on our workers. And that will cover the brief summary, Chair, of our presentation. So if you go to slide number 3, Secretary, please move with me. Chair, since 1994, government has expanded outsourcing. Majority of the services that government used to offer prior 1994 have since been outsourced. And we're not talking about a blanket insourcing. We're talking about specific areas of focus as a starting point in terms of bringing back the services so that we can have a capable state that delivers service delivery
to its people. So we're looking at services like cleaning, your IT, your security services, your catering services, transport, healthcare services in the main as a starting point. And why we chose this services, Chair, is because these are the services that you need on a daily basis. You need to have a meeting, like we're having a meeting here in M46. The room is clean. So who cleaned it? If you go outside, the lawn is neat, is trimmed. So it means somebody has done that service of cleaning services. When you enter the gates of this parliament, you'll find police, you'll find security. When we came into this room with Somlomo, I said, hey, members of parliament can never fail you. The first thing you find when you get to a meeting is food. So majority of you, except me, I did not eat the food outside, but I have water. So the food is prepared, and that's on an ongoing basis. Majority of you, if not all of you, used transport to come to this parliament, which, by the way, that transport is outsourced. So, Chair, if we were to prolong this meeting because of engagements and opening up to stakeholders, and we find ourselves sitting at night, you'll be told that the bus is leaving. Therefore, make separate arrangements because the bus services are outsourced. So those are the services that we need on a permanent basis. There will never be a time where you come into an office that is dirty and work on an office that is dirty. So we're saying, because these services are permanent, why then do we take permanent service of the state and put it in private hands? So we've seen that outsourcing has become a default approach in terms of procurement of services throughout government and its entities. And we're saying we need to reset the button. We need to go back and say, hang on, we can't have a state that is unable to deliver services. It relies on private sector to deliver services on its behalf. So with this outsourcing, we've seen a dependence, a state dependence on contract. When a toilet is blocked, you need to rely on a private person to come and unblock the toilet. When a tissue is finished, you need to rely on an outsourced person to come and bring tissue for you. Why is government not buying these services themselves directly? In that way, government will be building internal capacity, which has gradually been weakened since the introduction of outsourcing. So, from where we are, we're saying we need to rebuild state capacity. We are a developmental state, so we cannot run our affairs wholly on private hands when we are a developmental state. The state needs to play its critical role in the lives of our people. So what exactly is the problem that we are trying to resolve here? We have a weak internal state capacity. Basically, we've eroded state capacity in its entirety. Government relies on private hands for almost everything. There's over-reliance on private contractors. There's a rising tender-related corruption. So we're saying with this outsourcing,